The gooing of the water in the ground is spreading.
Itchy trigger.
Becoming terminal. It's time to create your own path. Something has to be able to open this lock. At least you got something for your trouble. Two fists of slice-up. pick up the pace race. He's helped out of date to get the Ark hardware restored. There's just some wiring left to do before the vessel's ready for takeoff. He says the spark plugs didn't fire, so the pistons couldn't compress the black juice to generate enough spruty bang bang for a takeoff. Gizmo isn't sure you'll need to make use of the Ark, though. It looks like your efforts to save the tree and the world are paying off. He knows your good-hearted nature means you won't leave him behind, but you need to work on yourself if he's going to be isolated with you in the Ark. There are things you don't see eye to eye on. It's not that he doesn't care about others, but the fact that the Ark only has 4 extra seats means you have to be picky when choosing company.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
He's been thinking this whole thing with the Ark through and has decided he won't be joining you. First off, he isn't 100% sure he's got the wiring right, and really, he doesn't think he can stand being in that enclosed space with you for long. Gizmo will always make time for you. Asks if you know Wiz, the one who builds the octopod. Says you shouldn't trust scientific wonders of the past. Says you should take care. He doesn't regret rejecting his seat on the Ark. He's prepared for whatever the world has in store for him when the end comes. Gizmo will always make time for you. Says talking to you was interesting. Everything's at stake. There's SUBNAUTICA Station. Goop flounders around in there. Treasure this part of the land while you can. Let's see.
Yango, Azetawa, Itaku Jaida, Raisate, Manu.
Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days.
Saluya,
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim.
Yango,
Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
The light shines on!
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Best to stick close to the shore then, where the goo isn't so deep. That's like being close to your friends who can help when things go wrong. Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf. Never seen any brighter. Shine on. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the SUBNAUTICA station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his Googlide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Googlide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. Out of Date told him the undersurf was the epicenter of the contamination. This was where it struck hardest and inflicted the biggest change to the ecosystem. Better get moving before the day passes you by. Excellent balance. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Shot. Suits you. Nice find. Halfway there. Have a good eye for that stuff. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. A biohazard like that can make you real sick. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late.
Mukamme. Saluya. Nusa Banlo Bitni. Wawawika.
He's got the Googlide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out.
Nusa Banlo Bitni.
There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots.
Banlo Bitni.
Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the Googlide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive Porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. Lots of notices on the board for things that made sense in the days when the surf was a lot cleaner. Interesting to see what they cared about here. Wonder if any of it matters now. In the old days, this was a port for boats that went under the surf. They helped clog the surf into goo. Toxanol didn't do it on purpose, I don't think. Their machines made a mess, though, and they never cleaned up after themselves. You should be able to find a track here. Just need to keep your eyes open. Welcome to the Surf Archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. Thanks to the Googlide, you're still dry. You're poking around Hockburg, a prime village. There are places a Googlide can't go. You dented that one good. Pow! Brick! Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. It's troubling that the rivals believe their reign of terror is actually going to lead to a better world. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. They need your protection and help to restore their village. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. They need your protection and help to restore their village. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Says you're welcome back. Breathe a little lighter now that day's returning. That's a good find. Time to over the good. Leave that ride. That's some good e-waste. Chop it up. It's a rare sight. Treasure it. Wildlife here is teetering on the brink of extinction. We all are. The meat-eater again. Nothing seems to satiate his hunger. The note is done for unless you intervene. Don't be feary. It probably won't bite. Ah, some wood scrap. Always happy to find that. Give it some gas. There are tough times ahead, no matter where you go. Wants to know what good you think you can really do in a world this messed up. Says talking to you was interesting. Has no doubt you've earned the trust and support of this village. Actions speak louder than words. You did good here. Is always willing to listen. You did good here. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. Feel that thing thrum? This here is the Sinky-Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least.
Ja!
He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Points out that he's hungry too, but always thirsty for more. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world figures the real problem is finding something to drink. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. They're better at floating than flapping, so you should be able to net a few without growing yourself a pair of wings. Let's see. This beats a slow boat any day. You enjoyed that. Hey, there's some e-waste. The best way to glide the goo. What a wild ride. The Quack Hollow. It's just loonly. Had enough of that? Up, down, all around. Need the right key? That's going to leave a mark. Wow, wow, wow. The story has got to keep moving forward. Nothing spews bullets like this one. Good this is in your hands and not someone else's. Loot. Whoa, smell that? Biohazard nearby. Now that's a knife. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Time to ride. Here's hoping this strap floats. Time to disembark.
Usa. Saluja. Raisate, manu.
That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this Worldeater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the Worldeaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Glad you're wise enough to work during the day. Hopes to see you again soon. He seems happy to talk. Says you should take it easy. Ah, life on the go. that broken boat over there? Looks like it still floats. One down soon.
So much damage.
Put an end to him. You're hurt bad. Cutting edge. Crit. Ready to take on the world. The deep cut. Flash the slash. You're in pain. Made the kill. Nice. Slashing dash. It's shockingly dark out there.
Ovein.
This one seems to be in good spirits despite being left here for dead.
Jamakuda Horedatunka.
Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need.
Baran udinamanga. Ovein. Untlump.
asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Come toward the light.
Slow down. Why would you rush in?
When you see what you want, why wait?
Well, what about being careful?
Ha! Poppycock! Full speed ahead!
And the open goo before you. Well worth the trouble. More useful than ever. This thing spits goo faster than it swallows it. It's the Porky Puff nibbling bug. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down out-of-date's leg. let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with another Worldeater. You're halfway there. He's got word Out of Date spotted Lupa Lupin and has a feeling your time has come. He hopes you're up for it. Even though you're good-hearted, you shouldn't miss this opportunity to confront the Predator. Just head back to the foot of the tree. Fingers crossed Lupa Lupin will stay put until you're there. Sound seems to travel farther at night. That's a hope hall. Some used to go there every week to join hands and hope together. Not so much hope to go around these days. Much harder to see outside now. Go on, catch it. Small things for your big ideas. Not going anywhere this time. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupa Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupa Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror.
Poikatawa Cobra Yaka.
You should get over there. Come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules.
Balu Putulua.
He's happy to help.
Yowotulua.
Understands you have things to do. No time to graze, let's go. Lupa Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Lupa Lupin's camp. Think of the things you could build. Lupa Lupin says he's been looking at you. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different. A hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupa Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. Right between the eyes. Slice and dice. You're low on health. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. Plastic scrap stays forever, but maybe you can make something out of it. Plastic scrap like that over there could be useful. Might not need that now, but you will later. Don't distract this beastie. It's working. Someone could probably make good use of that plastic scrap over there.
Billiga an tuffo umbak bakwa papamo.
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy.
Mpa wherefore wewe mokbu far kobi.
He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east.
Tuloya voto lola tolo voya lo yalo batolo yo.
Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko.
Tuloya voto lola poyo bot BRICHTOWN.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped.
Farfarifyo tuka kubu.
Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern Worldeater is stepping up its activity.
Nuekek ujbar no barke.
He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the Worldeater, but needs help to get it prepared.
Luatolo maua.
Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Yudnuluaptula.
He's happy to help.
Fabobe. Mok kofar.
Says you'll see each other later.